guys capable of filling in when perhaps one of their teammates is having not quite their best performance. So it looks like we are going to get underway with the knife round to decide who gets the side choice here on the first map.
Armoring up for the knife round. Let's see if there's going to be a... Oh, that's so interesting. I totally forget to buy armor sometimes on the knife round. It actually matters, yeah. So, let's see if we got a flank going on. A Desi flank. No.
Looks like all five, at least of Mythic, are in the middle. I love this showdown on Inferno because it's such a tight corridor in the middle. People don't last very long. Just kind of a wall for netcode guides. And here comes the Phalanx. Last one up is Lex. He's backpedaling. Lucky getting a two-piece in the knife round.
Nice. So they're gonna, yeah, CT is the standard choice. I mean, I wouldn't be totally shocked if you picked T. I found T to be pretty fun to play on Inferno, at least lately. But yeah, there, you know, you win the knife round, you figure why not at least pick the side that they're going to pick if they win it. So.
Right. If not just because you feel more comfortable, just to make them feel uncomfortable. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. It's nothing personal, but whatever's going to put them off a little bit, why not?
Absolutely. So you are watching CEVO TV. This is CEVO-P Playoffs Season 4. It's the lower bracket. Round 2 netcode guides versus Mythic. Both these teams fighting to stay alive. I am Mess, joined by Launders, and here is the pistol round. Kicking things off here. And looking like netcode guides is going to be aggressive and send 3 up to the car and Banana. Meanwhile, Mythic sending everybody through alt, but leaving the number 7-man Lightworker, curiously enough, back near T-spawn. Perhaps going to go for that flank from T-stairs. Hazed! Getting the opening kill, a headshot on Abe. Lucky getting one of his own, but Mark trades out with JDM. It's now a 3-on-3 scenario. They're going for the A site. The bomb is going to get planted. Looks like Rob has it. Oh no, he eats a headshot. Last one alive is Lightworker. He was lurking back in the T spawn and did not come in to clean things up. FNS and Hayes combining to put him down. So winning the ever-important pistol round on CT side is netcode.
No, Lightworker, I think I didn't get to see what position he was playing, but I imagine he was supposed to be holding B flank. And what happened was Lucky and Hayes both ran up mid, and then ended up flanking the guys coming out of Boiler and Abs, you know, while Lightworker came in running after them. So that ended up being a really disorganized take, and people getting shot in the back of the head was what lost them the round there.
We're seeing a couple CZs on the eco for Mythic. Third best rifle in the game. FNS actually going with the M4. JDM gets rushed at the arch side. Lightworker dispatches him with the headshot. And it's looking like... Actually, the bomb has come through apps. Look at it. It's hanging out in balcony. Rob has it all on his lonesome. But it's 4 alive for netcode guides. Not looking good for him. 2K on the round for Hazed already. With the pistol. So he's saving for that op, it looks like. But already doing damage. Lucky finishing off Rob from the pit with his FAMAS. So quick 2-0 for netcode guides.
Yeah, since they didn't get the plant, or they got the plant first round, but they ended up, a couple of them buying, I guess, a couple of nades and upgraded sidearms. So they're going to save again and try to get a plant here. If they don't get the plant, we might not see an off, although 3700 on Lightworker probably means they can get one regardless, but we'll be light on nades. So we'll see how they play this out. They had a pretty successful arch take on that run, but Rob's getting naded to hell.
Look at the aggression by JDM and Hazed in middle. Curiously positioned up at that bench area. And already we're seeing Mark off the field of play, and Lex, Abe, and Rob are extremely wounded. Lightworker again lurking, has the most health. They've left the bomb at the top of the T-stairs. It's a 2-2 split, looking for an entry frag on either of the sites. This is going to look like another unsuccessful eco, as they have not been able to even remove one of netcode guides from the field of play. Here comes the rush at B, and again, Lightworker, the last one alive. He does have the bomb, though. He's got 2 in front of him at the B site, a little bit smoked out. FNS is lurking at the porch. Shoots through the smoke and the corner.
I didn't even see him.
I don't think Rob saw him either. So, or excuse me, Lightworker. So that's going to be 3-0 for netcode guides. We'll see the gun round. JDM getting that op, I think, from Hayes, who saved up for it. AKs across the board for Mythic.
Yeah, well, even though they didn't get any kills last round, I just want to say that I appreciate, teams that take those rounds slowly and try to work picks in separate areas instead of just rushing into a site and getting ran over. So unfortunately, they couldn't pull anything off, but at least they've shown that they actually want to win this game.
So this is an important round for Mythic. They're on T side. They want to start to gain some momentum here in the gun round. We're seeing Hayes sticking with the FAMAS, playing up close. Extremely aggressive, rushes out, puts down Lightworker, but his teammates FNS and Cutler combined to eliminate another, one of them being his teammate Hayes. So perhaps Hayes getting a little too aggressive, getting shot in the back of the head from his buddy. But 2 off the board for Mythic. And the bomb is down in the center of Banana. 3 of Netcode guys congregated around it. The 3 alive for Mythic are stuck in middle and alt mid. But look at this lurk by Lucky. Oh, his shoulder was showing, and Lex makes him pay for it, puts him down with a headshot from his AK. It is now 3-on-3. This is a good situation for them to be in. Let's go look at JDM, who has himself that op. And he's just watching the flank as all 3 of the remaining terrorists are still at the bottom of middle. What do you think they do here, Launders? What would you recommend these guys pull off here? Should they go through CT or just brute force through Banana?
With 3 players, I think they should at least put 1 through CT, but they've already wasted so much time that, wow.
That spray down from Cutler. 2 headshots. And a little bit of help from his buddy Lucky eliminates the remaining 3 terrorists to make it 4-0. That was an ill-advised, uncoordinated push.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should have been extremely obvious that there would be a player there. But I liked how Neko played that in that they had no one at A, since they know if the bomb could be taken or not. So they had Lucky in B. So in case they got run over at Banana, they would immediately push through to B, assuming that a player would be over at A because they don't know where the bomb is. But Mythic didn't try to do anything interesting there. They just kind of all stood around and tried to hit shots, and they couldn't even hit their shots. So they've got to get a little bit more creative against a team like Netcode.
Yes, absolutely. And here on another eco for them. Oh, look at Rob doing the bunny hops through middle, trying to survive the spray from FNS. Chases him down with the headshot. Tries to control his spray for the second one. Cannot do so, but look at that. Mythic racking up 3 kills with their P250s. The only one alive is Lucky. And they're going to rotate through Banana to go for the plant. Looks like Mark and Abe. Mark only 2 health, 22 HP for Abe. Lucky at 100, so he's actually in a pretty good position to take these guys on, but Abe does have that off. Bomb gets planted at, looks like Grill, or no, right in front of the steps. That's a great position for it to be planted at, and he's likely going to get flanked here. Oh, he drops off with a Grill and takes out the op and eliminates Mark. What a clutch from Lucky. We'll get the defuse and make it 5-0 for Netcode, guys. What a play.
Yeah, Lucky played that really well. Just the standard retake. Obviously, both players are only 1 hit away, but that puts Netcode's up 5. And also, they were hitting really nice shots in that with those P250s and pistols. At least Mythic was, but it turns out that they couldn't hold it together with that op shot and ended up losing them around. Makes a pretty big difference now in the grand scheme of things because it's 5-0 and not 4-1. If we Mythic is able to buy because they did get the plant, but they've got to win this round, otherwise they're going to be hurting a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, they did have a decent eco in that round, and they got the plant and they eliminated 4. But still, you need to start winning rounds at this point. You need to start getting some momentum here on the T side to hopefully lighten the load when you do switch. 5 alive for both teams. Bomb looks like it's in Mexico. It's a 2-2 split. Other than that, we've got 2 into the A-apps, 2 up Banana at Car. FNS playing aggressive at that porch spot. Gets caught sleeping. A little too aggressive there. Lightworker steps out. Eliminates him. Wow, that shot from Lucky through the wall. Did you see that? That was just a thing of beauty. And then Rob gets burned by JDM's Molly. Netcode guys is putting on a clinic here in this round. Hayes tries to step out from the arch side. Cannot connect. Mark turns. Headshots him. Oh. But look at that Lucky again. Superior positioning. Mows down Mark and Abe. Just removes them completely from the field of play. And the last one, again, is Lightworker. This seems to be a trend, Launders.
Yeah, it does. Man, It just seemed like right from that last B retake, Lucky's just feeling smart today. I feel like everything he's gonna do, this game is just gonna work.
Yeah, just all of his guesses and his rotations have been correct thus far, and he's obviously hitting his shots too. I mean, look at 11, 1, and 2 right now, 25 points already.
Yeah, he's had some really good movement too. His B-hop almost caught those guys going to rotate to B. So yeah, now with Lucky on the carry and FNS not even having to turn his monitor on yet, does that mean that Netcode Guides is way more ahead than even the 6-0 implies?
And a little bit of aggression there from Lucky that time, perhaps a little overconfident. Gets caught from Mark in the window. Abe steps through the smoke. The spray down headshot on Cutler gives them entry into the A site, and Lex is able to eliminate the final defender of the A site. And this is actually looking like the best round for Mythic thus far here on Inferno. The two-man retake will be coming from FNS and JDM. FNS already stepping out from the library area. Slays one, cannot get the second as Mythic trades him out, and the last one alive is JDM with that op. I think he'll probably opt to save this, I would think.
Yeah, he's going to have trouble, though.
He's able to get one, that's Abe. But Rob Johnny on the spot steps out from Arches, takes that off from JDM. So successful round for Mythic, finally getting on the board.
Talk about Caster's Curse. This is him praising Lucky. He runs up in the balcony and gets shot down.
The Caster's Curse is real.
Yeah. But yeah, still doing extremely well. Now Mythic does have a rounds, and with this ratio, you know, at this rate, they're having a terrible half. If they can pull out another round right now, Rob with an op may make a difference. That can also make a big chunk or a big dent into the score here for them. 6-2 is like so much better than 6-1.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a big difference, but just that extra round gives you a little bit of momentum. And given the economy, if they win this one, we might see a save from Netcode the next round. So this is a big one for Mythic. And look at Cutler stepping out with a swag 7. Headshots Rob, but Lightworker's there to trade him out. JDM, oh, that peak headshot with the 5-7. Lethal decapitates Abe. This is looking like a pretty decent eco for Netcode Guides.
Yeah, looking good right now. I see the way Netcode Guides is split up. It's how it should be. But right now, there's gonna be a lot of responsibility on each person. If one person get one more pick, they definitely have this round, I'd say.
Yes, those shots are just too lethal with those pistols. As it will be a push through Arches, they're gonna try to wrap through CT to B. Patience from Hayes does not pay off. Lightworker had an idea, he was there. FNS is going to hold fast at New Box to hope that he can call for the rotate from his teammates and prevent a plant here. Smokes are out. He sees Lightworker. They're on to him. He's not going to last long. Lex is able to eliminate him. They're going to get the plant off. And already Lucky is coming up through Banana. Steps out and eliminates Lex. Mark trades him out, though. Hasn't planted the bomb yet. JDM, last one up. It's a 2-on-1. Oh, that op shot on Mark. Can he get the last one? He is at emo. Dark spot. JDM knows he's there. He's flashed. He's blind. He pulls out his pistol, which we saw he decapitated one earlier with. Oh, but Lightworker gets himself the 3K on the round and 2 in a row for Mythic, building a little momentum. But it looks like Netcode may be able to force buy here. Do you think they will?
Nice well-timed push by Lucky and also by Hayes. By JDM hitting that really nice shot. Obviously, Lightworker, the star of that round, getting a 3K and popping him in the head. In a situation where I thought the 5-7 would actually do a lot of damage, where he was just spraying where they're standing pretty close together. Yeah, good job by him saving that round. And 6-2, as I said, much more different than 6-1 would be or 7-1. If it had gone the other way, making their money really good. We got like a nice bank on Lightworker. We have an op on the table. We've got a couple people who can rebuy if guns are dropped, and so they've got some padding. Now we do have a buy round from Netcode Guides, but if they win this third round, Netcode Guides are really hurt.
Yeah,
really
they are extremely low on money. This is a huge round for Mythic. If they can get this, string together 3 in a row, likely at least one save from Netcode, and that would perhaps make it 6-4, and we got ourselves a ball game at that point. It's looking like a couple of Mythic playing possum at the wagon car area in Banana. Again, leaving the bomb dropped in a neutral area. That's a pretty common tactic here on Inferno as you push forward and look for a pick, trying to get an entry onto a site. And look at FNS hanging out in the tree spot. Yeah, good guys. I feel like we've seen this employed by them several times. I do like it if you use it sparingly.
The tree tactic, yeah. It usually, I mean, you almost always get away with it if you don't use it every round. That is, but they're getting an inkling that it might be B here.
Cutler flashed himself. See, even the pros flash themselves, folks. It happens. Here comes the entry onto the B side. Cutler's playing patiently. Here comes the spray down. 1, 2, cannot get the third. Mark trades him out. But he's extremely wounded. Plants the bomb. It's a 2-on-1 retake. Here comes Lucky through the banana. Hayes is in CT spawn. It's looking like he's going to come through construction. Again, Mark extremely wounded. Let's see if Lucky can get him down with the one shot. Lex actually hurt as well, although in a lot better shape. Oh, and Lex steps out with that op, leaving it all up to Hayes. Bomb is ticking fast, and another op shot for Lex makes it a 3K on the round, and just like that, Mythic 3 in a row, and Netcodes is going to have to save.
Yep, Netcode's going to have to save, and it's at this point where I might say, okay, D's are actually in the lead. That is if they pull this round off, of course. Now we'd have like a huge bank where Netcode would have to win 2 to force the save, and that's obviously been an uphill battle for them, as we've seen 3 rounds in a row go the way of Mythic, and those weren't eco rounds like half of the rounds that Netcode won. So we've seen them have a lot of success at B. Be curious to see if they're going to try to keep going back to B, whether or not they fake A and go there.
Yeah, that's a great point. It looks like they actually are looking towards A as they're sending 1 up banana this time. Meanwhile, the other 4 are heading up alt mid.
JDM might get a pick here. Oh,
that nade almost banked off of him. Yeah. Hayes tries to step out and get a kill, but Abe decapitates him. But JDM, with that CZ, gets himself the double kill. Steals himself the op. He's actually behind them in alt mid, but they're on to him. Hopefully he can call for his teammates to rotate to support him here, but the op from Lightworker slays JDM. Meanwhile, Rob is able to put down FNS, and Lucky and Cutler are the last alive. Lucky stuck in pit, only 4 HP. Cutler is over on the B site. They haven't seen the bomb yet, so Lucky can't call for the rotate. Not just yet, but there it is. Down goes JDM. The bomb will get planted at the A site. It's 3-on-1. Cutler speeding through the arches, and he really has nothing to save here, so we're going to see him go for it. Just a question of, will he be able to do anything? I mean, I think if you can get 1, maybe 2 frags, you're happy, let alone win the round.
Yeah, he's got a cool pattern on the back of his commie.
It looks like a little face smiling at him. It's like, you got it, Cutler. You can do this. Come on, buddy. Come on, man. We're going to get some headshots.
The encouraging clown.
Yeah, it's a good description, encouraging clown. And actually, he's looking for the exit kills, and the encouraging clown fails him.
Yeah, words only do so much in this game, and unfortunately for them, they needed more than just JDM to get those 2 eco kills to win the round. But now 6-4. We got a buy from both teams. We got JDM with his op, feeling pretty comfortable. Everybody should be comfortable right now, but winning this round is definitely important for Netcode guides, and would be pretty nice for Mythic. Yeah,
if they win this, then the momentum is clearly on their side at that point, as they've been able to rattle off. It will have been 5 in a row. So this is a hugely important gun round. We're seeing a split approach again. Bomb going up to the top of the T-stairs. 2 in banana, 2 in mid. And JDM again, he's getting a little predictable in that position. I think Mythic has queued into it.
Yeah, they double peeked him.
So JDM is eliminated from the field of play, but also are Lex and Abe. So it's a 4-on-3, and the bomb is looking like it's going to try to rush through to the B. And look at FNS sitting on that porch. Can't get the second with this pistol.
Oh, man.
And they are going to take control of the B side and get the bomb planted. It's another 2-on-2 scenario. And again, Lucky and Hayes on the board. Like you said, Launders, really liking this B side are Mythic. Here comes the retake. Both of them actually opting to come through CT this time. And Lucky with the headshot on Rob. Back in dark. Last one up is Lightworker. Steps out with his pistol, cannot survive, and Netcode guides, I believe, will get the defuse.
Yeah, no problem.
They got plenty of time with the kit, and it's going to make it 7-4.
Yeah, that round got really close, and I think it was the fault of our B players, because They kind of had a really good position. You know, we had terrorists pushing through the smoke, which is never something you want to do, and yet one player ran right by our player close right and just let him walk into the site. He did get one, dinked another, but that ended up being really close with no trade outs from both teammates. So good thing Hayes could win that round because it was pretty much his responsibility to do that. 7-4 your score, and with all of these takes at B, you know, you don't want to get stuck in a pattern as terrorists. Always have to go back to B, but if they can only take B, will they just try to brute force it every time?
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get the plant off that time, but the successful retake from Netcode won them the round, so perhaps they're gaining a little bit of confidence on that. They decided not to switch up positions at all. The entry again into the B site is successful, so they're just going to keep sticking with what's working. Oh, that nade from JDM lands right on Abe's head, preventing the plant. What a shot from him. Hit that from way downtown, another zip code, but the bomb does get planted. It's 3-on-3. They're bottled up, though, in the construction area. Lex at Sandwich, waiting for one of Netcode's to step out so he can set him free. He decides to step out himself, takes the initiative, eliminates Hayes. Lucky and JDM stuck in the retake. It's all up to JDM. What can he do? He's kind of sandwiched here. It's a 1-on-2. Mark is in the smoke. Hits the headshot. Can he get the spray onto Lightworker? He does not, but he's going to go for the bomb defuse. He's got to commit to it. Gets shot in the back of the head by Lightworker. And Mythic getting another round.
I was going to say he had a 100% chance. No, he had 0% chance of winning that round, and until he almost flicked and sprayed down Lightworker there. That was really close. But yeah, he gave up the site. Oh, I think I have the stream running in the background. That's what's been... Okay, yeah.
Launder's hearing himself talk back to himself.
No, I was like hearing you like casting the last thing. Yeah, but so yeah, that was another take at B successful. They got in with no trade outs. JDM had that nade that maybe would have turned the tide of the round, but unfortunately wasn't enough. You know, they're still playing from behind, having not gotten one entry pick. You know, you give up a site to 5 players, you got to have at least 5 players to take it back. Otherwise, you have almost no chance to.
Yeah, at this level, you really are fighting against the wind to get those retakes. We're seeing Hayes get himself a nice kill. Trades out, though. Look at Lucky biding his time on the center of the A side. Gets himself a 2-piece and puts down the bomb. And the eco round is successful from Netcode, guys. Putting a stop to Mythic's momentum. And that, you got to think, is going to be a bit of a crushing blow to Mythic maybe, after they had done so well.
But I think the odds were like 88% Netcode guides. So for them to just win an eco of 5-8, like it's just like they need to be winning more than just ecos. It needs to be a little bit farther than this. This is actually a really good score for Mythic, and I'd say Netcode guys are looking just a little bit sloppy, if I dare say it.
Yeah, so, you know, given the odds, like you said, we would expect, given they're starting on CT side, to be a lot further ahead. They certainly do not want to give up many more rounds to Mythic, as they're going to feel pretty confident going into the second half. And we're seeing FNS showing some pretty extreme aggression as he throws some smoke. He does not realize that there are 5 in front of him. Now he sees them. He starts spraying. He's able to eliminate 1. Cutler helps him out. He gets a 3rd. Will he get a 4th? No, he does not. Cutler steals it from him. But a 3K for FNS, a 2K for Cutler. Those 2 guys redeeming themselves a little bit over there at Bravo after getting rolled over several rounds.
Yeah, I like the call to smoke deep banana and then push up and play aggressive. I think they should try to do that again, regardless of whether or not they want to let them get away with that, because what happens in other rounds otherwise is with their B play, for some reason Mythic are really good at counteracting how they play it, and so they can just run in even if they're playing in the site and get their entry picks. If you let them get the entry picks when they're down B for banana, then you have a faster way to rotate to the site, and that can make a huge difference. Like we saw in that situation, I think it was JDM running out of time to defuse the bomb. In a situation where the entry picks happen at the bottom of banana, you might have a better chance to get it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Opting a little bit of aggression, catching Mythic off guard as they were getting a little bit predictable with their pushes on to the B bomb site. And already, poor Mark is the last one alive. And it's looking like Netcode Guides is going to rally a little bit to make it 10-5, a bit more respectable and comfortable. But Mythic certainly an admirable performance here on T side, and certainly capable of perhaps winning this map.
Yeah, certainly. So they pulled it together for the last. They won that anti-eco. Score could have been 8-7 if they didn't win that anti-eco. So that's a big difference, right there. And now Onus is on Mythic to win the pistol round 5-10. A good score, but not a great one. And so they've definitely got their work cut out for them. But they're on CT side now. So I'm gonna be curious to see if they go and try to play a heavy B at the beginning of the round or not. And it looks like now they're gonna go right for a standard setup.
Yeah, standard 3 to A, 2 to B. Here's the second half. First map in a best of 3. And it's looking like Netcoat, guys, is going to come steamrolling through Banana. Taking a page out of Mythic's book. And they're going to throw out some nades. I'm not sure what they're doing. They're actually kind of holding position in Banana. They decided not to rush into the site. They've got a decoy out in front of them. Perhaps trying to get a rotate, and then maybe... No, here it comes. They're rushing through car. Abe is able to put down Hayes. FNS is going to try to plant it sandwich. Bomb is down. It's a 3-on-3. Here comes the retake. We've got the number 9 man in Banana. That's Abe. Already down to Lucky and FNS trying to hang on to it. Excuse me. No, FNS is the last one up, and it's looking like Mythic is going to take the pistol round just like they needed to do. They can find the bomb and actually get it defused, and they do have a kit. So nice job by Mythic to get the job done here in the first round of the second half.
For sure, yeah. I'm really surprised that they won that round, especially with 3 players remaining. They lost the opening pick. If I think that Netcode guys anticipated there might be a little bit more going on at B than they might have let off, and so I think they didn't want to go in right away, but instead wait a couple cycles so that you could get a rotate to happen, maybe spread them out evenly, and then just go B like you had intended with the decoys. So they ended up doing that, but Mythic just better shooting and better positioning ended up getting a nice flank on them and cleaning up. So that's the kind of play we need to see, or they need to see for the rest of this half for them to win it.
And often they go for the bigger guns rather than a set of nades, as we're seeing 3 M4s and a FAMAS, and Lex not buying a gun, saving for that op. They all have head armor, though. What do you think about that, Lauren? Do you think it's better for them to, upgrade their guns here, or go with the utility nades?
You're talking about Netcode guns? They don't have any.
No, Mythic. Mythic, on the anti-eco, they've opted to go for the bigger guns rather than maybe the SMGs and some utility nades.
Oh, I see. Well, SMGs I think are almost all out of the question, at least lately. Like at least by zones. I mean, they're like the UMP you can do some damage with, but
and Lightworker proving me wrong with the spray down. Heyo, Mr. Ace. It is an eco ace, but we'll give that a golf clap, as Cotton says.
Yeah, good shooting nonetheless. And yeah, so I mean. They don't want to lose, and what they gave up in exchange for that is a nice big kill bonus that you would get from either an SMG or a Nova, as I would use, or something like that. But instead, they decided, okay, we're going to win this round, not drop players, which is definitely the plan if you have M4s, and then just continue to win out, not worry on rely on our win bonus because we're not going to lose players at all.
Yeah, that's a great point. So it will be another. No, excuse me. No, it's not a save. Sorry. They bought off of the backs of that plant. They do have AKs, but already one off the board, and that's Lucky, who's been playing pretty well for them. But they are going to get an entry in the A side. They're extremely wounded, getting sprayed down from the port side. It's 3-on-3. The bomb is down right in front of the truck. They're going to try to get it and plant on the A site. FNS with 9 HP lurking in the pit. Oh, he gets headshot from way downtown by Lex. Gets himself a 3K on the round. They're going to get the defuse. Despite the fact that Netcode guys bought up AKs that round, Mythic stepping up for the retake, winning 3 in a row here in the second half.
Yeah, so they took advantage of how they were playing that round, just kind of on a read, and decided to push down both Banana and Mid, not catching the players, and all 2 ended up going into apartments and coming out the back of apartments. And they got that entry pick coming out of the back of apartments, and that's when I thought Netcode guys had the round. But then Lex with a huge 3K knocks some heads off and shows Mythic why they're in Invite.
And you called it earlier before we started. Lex was one of the players to watch. Yeah, he stepped up big to start this second half for his team. Although Lightworker already at 21-1-11. 50-point map for his team so far. And Netcode guys opting to slow it down a little bit. They are on the save because they did buy in the third round due to getting the plant in the first. They're bottled up in Banana, all 5 of them. Perhaps waiting for Mythic to get greedy here, but Mythic Mark, the point man, perfectly content to wait, but here come the nades. Going to call for the rotate. It's going to be one man. He is blind. But Mark and Lightworker combine for 2, make that 3. And Mark and Lightworker holding fast there on the B site, making short work of that push.
Yeah, they invested quite I think they invested like $1,000 into taking me in that situation. So they didn't want to get at least 1 or 2 down, but couldn't do that. And a really great hold by Mythic on pretty good execution by Netcode Guides. They're going head to head right now, and the scores are right now. It's favoring Mythic to take this map. I'd say they haven't shown any weakness at B, where they have a couple of their stronger players, and at A they've held it down on the retake. So they've shown they can do almost everything right now, and it's up to Netcode Guides to make a chink in this armor. And
absolutely, as it is definitely a game now. Oh, look at that. FNS getting a shot from alt mid on Lex after he pushes up and gets 1 kill. Already 3 off the board. For Netcode Guides is up to JDM and FNS, and JDM has that op this time. It's looking like they're going to walk up Banana. They do have control of the bomb. Mythic is not alerted to the presence of where the bomb is at. They've got a 2-man split. This is pretty good setup for them. They'll be able to hold off a push and hopefully hold off a plant to call for the rotate. Smoking off Banana, perhaps a little clairvoyant, realizing that they're there. JDM and FNS perhaps can't decide what they want to do here. They do have a minute on the clock, so plenty of time to debate which site to take this to, Launders.
Pretty much a mistake has to be made on the side of Mythic for Netcode Guys to take advantage of this. They're not the type of team to just run into a site, but depending on how badly they want to win around, they might try to. JDM obviously leading with off means so that they're going to have to take more passive angles and just wait for people to run into their crosshairs as opposed to going looking for them. But they've got a pretty tight B setup right now with Abe on a fast rotate, so I don't think they'll get away with this.
Ooh, FNS gets the entry kill onto Mark. JDM had to be careful not to shoot his teammate there. He's able to trade out Lightworker. They did get the entry into the site. He cannot hop up over the corner to get the bomb planted. Does not have time, I don't think. He may just go for the suicide plant. That is what he's going to do, and he may get shot in the side. Oh, no, he does not. Abe was too patient there. JDM can't hit the no-scope. Abe sprays him down. We'll get to the fuse, and this will be a tie game, Launders, in the second half.
Yeah, definitely a really good attempt right there, and that was a really huge round for confidence. But the thing was that Netcode Guides ended up getting into B that round, so they've gotten a little bit farther than they have in the previous 5 rounds. We started this half 10-5, and Netcode Guides hasn't shown that they can win a single round on T side. Now the thing is that they're a team that have won rounds on T sides versus better teams than Mythic has, or better teams than Mythic in invites, and they've come back from bigger deficits. So I'm sure that their mindset is, okay, we just haven't found how we should play this properly. But at the same time, Mythic's showing that they haven't had any holes in their game right now, and they're playing a really flawless CT side. So it's going to be a battle of wills here.
Yes, it's going to come down to big guys making big plays. And we're seeing an op look. Lex having the op, no op for Netcode Guides. Likely couldn't afford it. It's JDM going to have to go with his trusty rifle this time. And looking like another banana push, perhaps. Bomb is lurking at the top of T stairs. We've got 3 on point up front at car. And I'm liking this positioning by Mythic. They're staying up close. One basically at oranges at B and the other one at CT. They have a nice crossfire. They just wait for Netcode Guys to step out and spray them down. Although it's looking like Lightworker is going for the rotate a little early, not realizing that all of Netcode Guides is in banana. This could be a big mistake for Mythic. Oh, and now he hears the nades. He's going to have to rotate back. He's leaving his teammate completely stranded there. But despite the fact he was out of position, he's able to get the opening headshot on JDM. But Cutler trades out Lightworker. Hayes sprays down Mark at New Box. They are going to get control of the B site as the bomb is planted. It's a 3-man retake for Mythic, and this is looking like a good round for Netcode Guides. They do have the advantage, 1-man advantage here on the retake. Looking like all of them are going through CT. Flashes out from Rob. And I don't know, it's looking like they're going to save Launders. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't really have the time to do it. I think they feel pretty confident that they can win rounds. So hanging on to their money for later rounds might be a good idea. You know, $8 grand will get you a long way, but not necessarily another 10 rounds. So They might have made the smart move right there. Obviously, the bomb exploded pretty quickly after they decided to save, so it's probably would have ended up the same way regardless. I think that right now Mythic has just shown that they do have an Achilles heel. I mean, I think that Mark played that site and B pretty poorly. Like we had overall as a team, they made a rotate. That was a bad read in general, but Mark didn't peek with Lightworker. Lightworker ended up dying first. So that was kind of questionable to me in the way that he was the only one in the site, and Lightworker was already halfway to A.
Yeah, he was the only one who got the kill, and he was actually at CT. As, again, Lightworker going hard for his team, gets 2 in Banana at car. Last alive again for Netcode Guides is Lucky and JDM, and that's kind of been the common theme for these guys, and they're actually going to rotate through T-Apps.
LMS buddies.
Yeah, last man standing. Hey, bud, you ready to do this again? We gonna clutch this? It is doable for them, though. It's a 2-on-3, and looking at this move, it's looking like Mythic doesn't know where they're at.
Yeah, they're pretty much in a really great spot as compared to last round. On Banana, you got choke points on either side of you, but while you're in apps, it's kind of just either we run into each other or we don't.
And this could actually turn out great for Netcode Guides. Lucky the point man. He's going to smoke out, but he's going to alert them to his position. Probably thought someone was in pit. Realizes there isn't. Abe is on site. Eats a headshot from JDM. Here come the rotates. They are going to get the bomb down. One coming from CT, one coming from apartments.
JDM down to 1 health right now.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, apps.
Down he goes. The second kill goes to Rob. Nice retake, well coordinated by Mythic. They got the plant, and that was actually a really nice sneaky plant by them to get through A-apps and get into the site pretty much unscathed, but didn't have enough health to hold off the retake.
Didn't have enough health, yeah, and yeah, good play by Rob. Just coming in there, checking all the right spots, seeing probably a little bit of JDM's pants there in graveyard, and shooting them right off. So now it's 11-11. We have tons of money on the CTs. That's been established. They can rebuy, and we'll be able to rebuy for a couple more. We've got a lot of work left for Netcode Guides, but now we've given up 2 rounds in a row for Netcode Guides, and the opening pick of this round, and I'd say Mythic are officially on the back foot.
And again, this is Mythic's pick, so performing pretty well on a map that they are obviously confident on, given that they selected it. As already 2 are off the board for Netcode Guides. Make that 3 as Lex just steps through in balcony with that op shot. This time it's Cutler and Lucky. But Lucky has pretty much been the star of the LMS for Netcode Guides thus far in the second half. They really need to get something out of this round, as they will definitely be on a save, perhaps a double if they lose this. And that's going to put all the momentum on Mythic's side and likely give them the driver's seat for winning this map and forcing Netcode Guides to win their choice cash if they want to get to the tiebreaker. Abe steps out, does some damage. Cutler down to 8 HP. Lucky still full. Stop baiting, Lucky. There's Lightworker, eats a headshot from Lucky. Nice shot there. But they are stuck in CT spawn, and I think Mythic is just perfectly content to wait for them to push to the site. I mean,
yeah,
the onus
they
is
should be
completely on
pretty
them.
screwed with Lex and Pit. A's kind of hard to take right now. But he might be rushing the wrong angle, but oh no, we got a player at bench.
Oh, Abe's in a good spot. Slays Cutler and dispatches with Lucky. Nice 2-piece by Abe on the end of the round to win it.
Yeah, almost up to a 30 bomb here for Lightworker. Going crazy. So yeah, now it's 12-11. Rounds are going back and forth. We saw, I think, 2 in a row go to Netcode after losing 5 in a row, and now Mythic bringing it back, but also making it so that they're ahead in the score and on the favorite side. This is going to make both things make a difference, and we have an auto sniper on Rob right now, and an op on Lex, who we saw be very mobile, very useful with it, and an eco for Netcode Guides. 13-11 is probably going to be the score. Coming back from them, coming back from that is going to be a huge problem.
It looked like they went with the YOLO push on B, but did not prosper for them, as FNS is going to be the last one alive. Abe dispatches with him with the quickness with a headshot from his USP. Just like you said, Launders, it's going to be 13-11, and a lot of work for Netcode.
Yeah, a lot of work. You're gonna start to feel really afraid at this point because you can have like that really special T-sided day where you're just hitting every one tap that you can find. But if Mythic aren't showing those holes in their game, aren't peeking mid, aren't pushing banana too often, or aren't being overly aggressive, it's gonna be really hard to exploit a team when you're on T-side for that reason.
And like you said, they got the auto sniper and the op look. This is going to be tough to crack for Netcode guys, as they don't have the money to give JDM his trusty op to combat that. AKs across the board. It's going to be tough sledding for him. They absolutely need to win this round, as if you look at their economy, they're completely broke. Completely broke. So this is pretty much the pivotal round for them if they want to have a hope to win this map and not be up against it going into the second. It's looking like another B push for Netcode guys, although slow this time. They went with the yellow last time. Flashes and smokes are out. Here comes the entry. JDM is on point. Mark eliminates Hayes, but JDM gets 2. It's a 2-for-2 trade out to get into the site, but they will get the bomb planted. And a 3-man retake for Mythic. We're seeing 2 come through CT, 1 come through Banana. Lex has that op, though. He's been stellar with it thus far.
This is the best play. Double emo. They're never gonna know. Time runs out on the bomb, calling it.
Launder's calling time runs out on the bomb because of the double emo position. Here we come. Lex through Garden. Sees one, he whiffs the shot. JDM and Lucky make him pay for it, and Netcode guys winning a must-win round to halt the momentum of Mythic.
Nice. Yeah, here I was assuming that CTs were going to kill them all and the bomb was going to explode.
Bad prediction, Launders.
Yeah, so they came clutch when they needed to, relied on their great executions, Netcode guys, flawless executions all the time, ended up taking B-side pretty convincingly right there. Mark did trade out 1, but needed to do a little bit more work as they got into the site with 3 to 3 players remaining. I think all in all, that makes the retake a little bit more difficult with the CTs. And a push down mid. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mythic going YOLO with this one. With their guns. Oh, wow. Catching Netcode guys completely off guard. Cutler is stranded at the bottom of T-stairs. He's able to hold off Abe, but this is going to be tough for him. He's down to 13 HP, and he's facing 4 CTs. Mythic calling the audible here in the 26th round, just going completely aggressive despite the fact they all had guns. Cutler gets a second on Rob. Can he pull off the hero clutch here? I don't think so, but he's proven us wrong before. No, Lightworker is waiting.
Damn, that was a sick clutch play by Mythic, deciding to just push down, like when the scores are so close, and all they have to do is play standard CT to win. They just took advantage. I can't believe they got away with that. It's pretty crazy. So now it's all to 14. They've got to win 1 more to tie it up, and we don't have the option for a save on Netcode guys. They want to take this round. They don't want to have to play to tie, and so they're forcing right now.
Yeah, only 2 AKs, a couple of CZs. It's certainly going to be tough sledding for Netcode guys here to prevent that all-important 15th round. Mythic on the doorstep of winning map 1 here in this best of 3. But Lucky, with that CZ headshot on Lex, they're going to try to pick up that gun if they can. That's the way you want to start out an eco round, but the trade-out comes from Rob. Although he is pretty wounded from that engagement. He's down to 11 HP himself. But Hayes down to 12. And it's looking like Netcode guys is going to try to go for the A site. 4 men on that side, 1 in the middle. It's the number 2 man, JDM. Hayes still hasn't found himself a gun yet. And all Mythic really needs to do is be patient.
Yeah, pretty much. Health is a little bit on their side, but positioning more so.
Smokes are out. Arch side looks like they're going to go porch. Hayes looking like he's going to fire off the pit.
Abe has a molly. That's good.
Here comes FNS out swinging from the balcony. He sees Abe. Can't hit the shot. Hayes is able to burn out Rob in the pit, who was low on health, but Abe eliminates FNS up at the balcony. JDM coming around the corner, swinging with his AK, sprays down Abe with a headshot, but Lightworker trades out Hayes. It's a 2-on-1. Lightworker, the last one alive again. He is the LMS hero for his team. Cannot get it done, and the eco from Netcode guys coming out again when they absolutely need it most.
Damn, I can't believe they pulled that off, Al. This is a lot closer than I thought it'd be, and with just the opposite scoreline that I thought I'd see. So
making us eat our words for sure.
Nuts. Yeah, I mean, Mythic can still buy, so at this point it's still an uphill battle for Netcode guys. But that was pretty much ready to start talking about the second map after a couple of rounds ago. So
certainly not out of the woods yet, our Mythic. Netcode God's able to put one together on a half buy, a desperation buy, after a stellar, unorthodox push from Mythic caught Netcode Gods off guard to get them that 14th round. We're seeing an op on Lex again. Still no op on Netcode Gods because they are so low on money, going with 3 AKs and 2 Galils. All armored up, though, and pretty decent utility nades to choose from. But look at Mythic being pretty aggressive in the banana. Perhaps pulling a page out of Netcode Gods' playbook, as they did something similar in the previous half. Nade comes out, they have to retreat from banana, but Netcode Gods is bottled up at the end of mid. If they could get sandwiched here, it could spell disaster for them, but it's looking like Mythic is going to play passively, staying pretty far back at the A site and at B. I mean, you take a look at the minimap, they are not contesting the entry points at this point.
yeah, I think it'd be a good read to rotate someone over to B at this point. We've seen their late round executions almost always go to B, but it's going to be on Lightworker right now, and Mark if he's still here.
The flash was half on Hazed, but he's able to use that Galil to put down Lightworker, who's been stellar for his team. And they entry into the B site without losing a man, and that's a perfect entry for them. That's absolutely what they wanted. The bomb has been planted. It's going to be a 3-on-5 retake, and Cutler and Hazed are slightly wounded, but still in pretty decent shape.
Yeah.
Let's
this
see
round
if
is
Lex...
lost. They're going to save. But
yep, there it goes. Lex looking like he's probably going to go for the exit kill, and his other teammates are going to...
Just looks away right at the wrong moment. But this is what happens when you don't take apps or you don't take banana. If you don't take one, or like you don't get information on one of the two, then your site gets taken and rotates are too late. And you know, with a score like this, it's and you could also have the read. You know, on top of that, Netcode's guides typically goes B near the end of the round, which we've seen in this game like 4 to 5 times now where they've won rounds. So, you know, no attempt to get information, I think, is what cost them that round specifically, even though they ended up not trading out anyone in B. But now with 14-14, Netcode Guides with the momentum and having, you know, Rob with his swag 7 might make a difference here. Yes,
although Lex still does have that op. JDM still no op of his own. But in the 29th round, it's anybody's ball game. Here comes Netcode Guides with the split. 3-2. 3 of them coming up alt mid, 2 coming up banana. They're just making noise there at banana, though, perhaps trying to draw the rotate. But Mythic has been pretty patient in that respect. Perhaps too patient, as we saw in the past round, where, as you said, Launders, they didn't go for that free information. And it cost them in that swag from Rob. Perfect spot for that. Steps out and eliminates Lucky with the headshot right to the face. He brushed his teeth with that. He's going to get himself a new gun, I would think. Although it's looking like he's just going to stick with the swag. He's confident with that thing.
I mean, there's no gun this round that's got more kills than that, so.
Touché. And look at Lex stepping out with that op on FNS. Gets a second on the JDM. Can he get a third? He cannot. Hayes trades him out, but there's Abe and Mythic getting the 15th round on Netcode Guides.
Just like that. Just to throw it back out of nowhere. See, I mean, maybe, yeah, I mean, Netcode guy, like, okay, this is like read for read, okay? So Netcode Guys goes B every single round in the later part of the round, wins the round. This round, they decided to go A for absolutely no reason and then lose. If they ended up just going B late again, we had no people up at B, like, pushing for information. We had all of Mythic in the same positions, except that Lex has been really successful opping at A, and so the only thing they did was decide, okay, we're going to go to the harder site and see if we can win anyway.
So Mythic just reading things perfectly. And they're on the doorstep of many.
Not having to read anything. They didn't have to go look for information. Netcode Guys just came to them.
Just waiting patiently. And actually, we're seeing JDM finally get the op in his hands in this ever-important last round of regulation. Trying to force overtime here on map 1 is Netcode Guides. 5 alive, still on the board for both teams, but Hayes is pretty wounded. He's down to 8 HP. JDM just spraying and praying with the op in middle. Swings and misses twice. They're playing pretty passively, but they are jammed up at banana again. And we're seeing Mythic actually stack B this time. Only going with 2 over at A. I think this is a smart play because, as you said, Launders, pretty much all of the late round pushes from Netcode has gone to the B site, and I think
can't-
they're going to do that again.
They can't do it again because they just went A and failed. So now it's completely obvious that, with the last round, there's no rounds to lose. They have to win this. So they were likely going to go B.
And here comes FNS, comes out porch. Mark hits him with the headshot, but JDM and Lucky combine to trade him out. But Lex is still there with his op. Hits JDM in the back, who didn't even see him. He was looking towards CT. That's a great shot from him. It's 3-on-3 and another from Lex. He's just going huge. It's a two-piece on this round in the final round of regulation. The bomb has been planted, though, but it does not matter. The frags are out. Cutler was the last one on the board. He is defeated, and Mythic wins map 1 in close fashion, 16-14. Upsetting Netcode Guides, I would say, despite the fact that it's their map pick.
Yeah, never been so happy to put 16 points.